What's up, guys? Welcome back to spooky season, aka Sam doing a bunch of stupid haunted stuff that's probably gonna result in pretty horrible things. A while back I did this video where I gave you guys 5 options of different 3 a.m. challenges or rituals, and then you guys got to pick one of them for me to then do. And even though that was horrible, I feel like it's time to do it again, because why not? It's Halloween time, and what better time to do that? So today, again, I'm gonna be giving you guys the top 5, in my opinion, most haunted rituals you could possibly do. And if you guys get this to 50,000 likes, then I will be doing one of these challenges. Let's get started. All right, guys, so we're gonna get right on into it with the first one, but first we gotta set the mood. Gotta have scary black candles, right? Oh yeah. Also, if you guys don't remember, I freaking have a 3 a.m. hoodie. We have this nice, beautiful 3 a.m. hoodie only available on the XPLR app, which you can download below. And this is a very limited time thing, so if you want it, go get it. Come summon demons with me. Here to set the mood, let's start with the first ritual. All right, the first one comes from the Midwest. Oh boy. It's actually called the Oklahoma Darkness game. You can use the Oklahoma Darkness game to summon demons, of course. Fantastic. And you have to be by yourself. Again, guys, at the end of this video, you guys are going to be voting on which one in the comment section that I'm gonna have to do, so pay attention. All right, so it says that in Oklahoma, back in the good old days, right after you had tipped your cow, you summoned a specific type of demon. I think it says you can literally summon any specific type of element or demon if you want. So sweet, we're gonna definitely summon the most satanic one. And you gotta do it by yourself. You can do it in an apartment or a house, perfect. You need a flashlight, we need 4 candles, piece of chalk, power object. So a power object, if you don't know, is gonna be like something that you hold dear to yourself that like helps you stay grounded. You know, like a lot of people carry around like a little gem or a good luck charm. Kind of same thing, sort of. You need a sharp object, and then you need to know the locations. So like north, east, south, west, that type of thing. Begin after darkness, preferably at 3 o'clock in the morning. Bum, bum, bum. You gotta turn off all the lights. The entire house or room or whatever needs to be completely darkened. And now it's time for the summoning. Locate true north and identify where east southwest is. You know, if you're directionally challenged, this might be hard. Use a phone. Using the chalk, you have to draw a large circle on the floor. You gotta place 1 candle at the north, east, southwest quadrants of this circle and then light them with your matches. This is going to seem like a legitimate ritual. You're gonna look like one of those satanic pentagramists with all the lights around. It'll look strange, trust me. Using the chalk, draw a pentagram on the floor immediately south of the circle and then sit on top of the pentagram. Yeah, it gets freaky. You're gonna invoke an element for each of the 4 directions. So there's a specific thing you need to say for each: fire, earth, air, and water. You guys remember from our origin series on the SamGolbach channel. It gets pretty crazy. I'm not gonna get into that because that's a bunch of like Latin gibberish, and if I started saying this, I'm not quite sure, but they'd probably be a random ghost right behind me. And I don't want that to happen. So, once the invocations have been completed, extinguish all of the candles simultaneously. And then you're gonna pick up the flashlight and turn it on and keep all the other flashlights or light sources off. Hold your power object at all times. You don't want any bad luck on your plate. So basically you're alone in the dark. You just summoned all these weird things by saying Latin-ish. You're sitting on a pentagram and now you're about to have to walk around. So from this point, it's kind of like the Midnight Man, which kind of scares me. You have to continuously move if you want the best results. You just have to continue exploring and walking around and observe, because things will be changing, like temperature, like lighting and all that stuff, until daybreak. So you basically have to, if you start at like 3 a.m., you would have to at least walk around for 3 hours until it's 6 o'clock in the morning and there's sunrise. That sounds horrible. And you're alone. You're not like Midnight Man where you can have like 5 people around. You're alone. This is gonna be horrifying. Do not fall asleep. Okay, fine, we won't. Basically, so when daylight appears, you can dispel the elements summoned if necessary. Return to the same spot, turn on the lights, wipe the floor clean of all the chalk circles and pentagram. Carry on, but make sure that you keep all of your power objects and everything close to you for the end of the month. All right, cool. So basically, all this is, if you wanna summon a demon, you find true north in a place of complete darkness, you do this crazy Latin ritual, and you you can just decide what you summon, but it could get really bad if you don't wait until sunrise. This one sounds horrifying and will look absolutely horrifying, but I think we should move on. But before it says, the final thing is concerning the demonic elementals. If you want to summon demons, like, it is not recommended to ever use this ritual for the demonic purposes. Like, we've only seen good things with the other spirits. I wonder why. Oh. And it won't end when the sun comes up if you summon the demon. Ah, perfect. All right, next ritual. Number 4 on the list for haunted ritual games that I think are the most dangerous is this one called Daruma-san, otherwise known as the bath game. Daruma-san just sounds so much cooler. Moral of the story, there was this woman that was found that died in a bath by falling over onto that, I don't know, the faucet is what you might call it. And it was like with this crazy ritual, but very long story short, girl died in a bathtub, and then her curse, you know, went over all these bathtubs as long as you say her certain ritual. Point of this game is to invite her into your bathtub, which normally inviting a girl into your bathtub might be nice. Not in this case. Again, you're gonna have to do this one alone. You need one person in a bathroom with a bathtub, obviously. A shower may not be a substitute because that's not part of the original story and thus won't summon her the same way. This is one of these videos that I have done before, and I will tell you, it is unlike any other ones. That's because you begin at night, right before you go to bed, and you actually go to bed during this ritual. And I know that probably sounds horrible to do a satanic ritual and then go to bed, but you know me. So you gotta climb into the tub, naked, sit down facing the faucet and the taps. So close your eyes and begin to wash your hair. You have to wash yourself like blind, basically. And while you wash your hair, you gotta repeat the words, Daruma-san fell down, Daruma-san fell down. Do not stop repeating until you have finished washing your hair, and do not open your eyes ever. If you performed that right, or you just are thinking about it, you should have a mental image of a Japanese woman standing in a bathtub. Now, if that isn't creepy enough, I have no idea what is, but there's the weird part. You should feel her fall towards, again, the rusty tap or the faucet right in front of you. And so if you do feel that, or are thinking about this Japanese woman behind you, then you need to ask aloud, why did you fill the bathtub? And you need to let that question sit in the air in front of you. You know, like, you're quiet, alone in a bathtub, no lights are on, you think this Japanese woman's behind you. It will be creepy, and trust me, it was horrifying the first time I tried that. And then after you let that question hang in the air, you need to keep your eyes shut. Again, you never open your eyes. You gotta get out of the bathtub. Do not trip or fall. Exit the bathroom, shutting the door behind you. You cannot open your eyes at all while this is happening. So when you leave the bathroom, you can open your eyes, leave the bathroom how you left it, and then go to sleep if you can. That would be horrifying. The reason why I say this is a very interesting ritual is because you actually have to go into the next day for it to be effective. So basically the game goes, you wake up in the morning and the game begins the moment you open your eyes again. You go about your day as normal, but you might feel a constant presence behind you, just as though you did in the bathtub. Have you ever been like looking over your shoulder, you kind of like see a shadow like in your peripherals, but nothing's ever like right in front of you? That's what it's gonna feel like all day. And she will attempt to get closer and closer as the day goes on. But if you spot her, and if she is in your line of vision, not just randomly on the outskirts, you have to shout Tomar, which is stop, and you have to run away. The idea is basically get her to like stop, obviously, and then get as much distance between you and her, because you do not want her to catch you. The entire point of your day is that she might be following you, and you might not know 100% where this Daruma-san spirit is, but you cannot let her catch you. But whenever you want to end this ritual, you need to be able to see her in your peripheral vision or in your gaze anywhere. And once you do, you need to shout, I cut you loose. And then while swinging your arm down as in a chopping motion. If you performed this action correctly, the game will be over. If you did not perform the action correctly, or if you did not say it correctly, or she wasn't in your gaze while this happened, better run, because she is still around. But yeah, that's the point of the bath game. Again, I think it's like one of the most dangerous games because one, you have to sleep after you've summoned this spirit, and then two, you have to spend an entire day. This girl's following you. It's not like a 3-hour ritual. It's not at night. You gotta sleep and spend a whole day with this person trying to find you. I think that's pretty crazy. Again, I have done that before. If you want me to do it again, I might but again, that's the longest ritual I've ever done. Next ritual! So number 3 on the list, we're halfway here. This is actually a very quick ritual, and it has a decent payoff to it actually. On this one, there's actually a reward, unlike most. This one is called the Dark Reflection Ritual. Reflections obviously have to do with mirrors. Obviously, most of you probably know that a mirror has a lot to do with spirits. Like a mirror is one of those unexplained phenomenons when, you know, like vortexes and stuff like that. We've talked about this before. However, you've probably also heard that breaking a mirror is bad luck. Part of that's true. The breaking of the mirror is not actually what causes the bad luck, but the bad luck and the negative energy stays wherever the mirror was broken originally. The whole point of this ritual is to break mirrors, but in order to get rid of bad luck by casting all the negative energy and bad luck into a specific area, and thus you can leave, you know? So in this one, you can actually have a group of people, which is great, and obviously you need a mirror. You need a mirror, a candle, and matches. So the very first thing you do is you begin at midnight. You gotta take the mirror and look at your reflection for 3 to 5 seconds. And what you're supposed to be doing in this time is focusing all the negative energy within the mirror. If you have bad energy on yourself, you've got bad luck you feel like, focus that all into the mirror, into your reflection. Then hold the glass closer to your face so that your breath hits it. So your breath, you want to hit the mirror and fog it up so that you cannot see your reflection again. Make sure you repeat that for everyone in the group. If it's just you, that's great too. Once that is done, light a candle and put the either match or candle straight up to the mirror's surface. Once that candle has blackened a small portion of the glass, remove the candle and extinguish that. After you extinguish the candle and you have this black smudge all across your mirror and you focus all this negative energy into it, break the mirror to release all that negative energy. Leave the pieces in the broken mirror where they are and evacuate that area immediately. Again, you want to leave all that negative energy, all that bad luck in that area. So the bad part is, yeah, we haven't gotten to the bad part yet, but the bad part is in this ritual, once you've released that energy, you're not safe yet. There is a battle. So basically, all this bad luck will follow you until dawn, until the next day. Basically, all rituals end the next day. You've basically caught on to that thus far. So from there, you need to just survive until daylight. Like, you're gonna have horrible luck, bad energy following you. All these horrible things that you're trying to cast away are going to be following you until the ritual is over with. All it's saying is literally stay alert because more things will happen than you think. And if you do find yourself in a particularly threatening situation, hold your breath for as long as you can. I'm not sure why. I feel like that would make things worse. But here's the good part. I said there was a reward. Should you survive the night unscathed, your luck will turn around at the first light of dawn. Your bad luck will end and a streak of good fortune will begin. Again, you're casting out all your negative energy and all your bad luck, so the only thing left is your good luck. People will be nicer to you, success will come easier. You know, it's recommended to buy a lottery ticket, whatever you want to do. The reason why I like this one is you actually have a reward, but like your worst luck and the most negative energy would be surrounding you for like hours on end. It's like a wager. You have really bad luck for one night, you could have great luck for the next week or so. So I'd say it's pretty cool. Let's go to the next one. All right, guys, so the second most haunted ritual that I could come up with is the 11 miles ritual. There's a lot of factors that go into this, and there's a bunch of different reasons why it could be super dangerous or could not be dangerous at all. Before I get into it, the 11 miles ritual is where you have to go on a single path of a road for 11 miles alone with, you know, no electronics, no radio, no anything. So basically you're sitting alone, going for 11 miles very slowly. Yeah. Before we begin, I just want to say that a lot of it depends on what road you take, because some roads are obviously more haunted than others. And then two, it also depends on what area you are in, because half of the danger in this ritual is it's not in a home. You're not summoning demons, and then if you want to get away from the spirits, you can just go hang out with your buddy. You're 11 miles into a one-way road where no one else is there, and most likely is in the middle of the forest because you can't have lights around. So that's where a lot of the danger comes from. and like especially let's say your car breaks down because you summon a demon, you're stuck. With all that being said, this is the 11 miles ritual. So you need a car, you need a deep wish or a desire, because at the end, if you do in fact make it out alive, you know, dreams or desires are supposed to come true, which is great. So you gotta begin at night, ideally when the roads are not very well traveled. Again, you can't be seeing other people or seeing any other lights, or else this thing will not work. The road that you go to them must also pass through woods. Again, you're not looking for any light, and it has to be one way that you can go all the way 11 miles without being interrupted. When you do find it, you will know. That's really creepy. All right, if you want to stop, you can, but it's recommended to just keep going without stopping. Basically, all the miles have different things. Like at first, it's supposed to get cold. Mile 2, you're supposed to turn on the heater. Mile 3, there's gonna be shadows in the trees, but no matter how human-like they are, no matter how slender-many they look, like you're not supposed to, you know, pay attention to them. Mile 4, you might hear voices. Mile 5, you might see trees just all of a sudden vanishing. You basically get the point. Things happen a lot. Let's skip to the end. So mile 11, the 11th mile, the one that you're supposed to be able to, you know, if you pass this, it's all good, you can go home, your desires are fulfilled. It says that your vehicle may lose power by this time, but continue to move, let it. So if your vehicle's going, you don't click on the brakes, you don't turn it off and turn it back on, you just like let it start to lose power and just keep going. If you see a red light ahead, close your eyes, close them tightly. Cover them with your hands if you must. Oh my God. No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. All right, no matter what you hear, no matter what you feel, no matter how hot it gets, do not look. How are you supposed to be out in the middle of the woods, your car breaks down, you hear things or you feel stuff or it's getting hot and you're not supposed to look? No. When the power returns to your vehicle, open your eyes, take a moment, drive away. After this, you gotta drive until the road ends, stop, relax, close your eyes, and imagine your deepest desire. Even if it's changed, you have to reimagine this desire. Open your eyes. If your desire was an object, it might be in your trunk. It might be placed there by whatever entity that you couldn't look at. If your desire was non-material, return to your life and check there. It might not appear immediately, but it will over time. And at this point, you can basically choose to do it again or go home. I would definitely recommend going home because you're probably out in the middle of the woods and it's not safe to be out there. But yeah, again, I have done this before and I've even tried to break the rules, and it might be because I have a crappy car, but my car actually did lose power and had a bunch of those like check engine lights and stuff come on because of this ritual. And I was out in the middle of the mountains of Los Angeles driving on a road and I almost got my car like broken down there. So I do not recommend this ritual ever, because again, this is not something that you're in spiritual danger, but you're also in physical danger out in the middle of nowhere where you can't contact with people. All right. 2 things. One, again, if this gets 50,000 likes, I'm going to be doing one of them besides this one. This one's a little too intense. I don't think I'm gonna do this. If we want a like goal, let's get like 200,000 likes, but I'm not gonna do that unless it gets, you know, that, because this is gonna be insane. Before we get into what ritual that is, again, guys, go check out the 3 a.m. hoodie. It's a beautiful freaking blue. You can summon demons in it, and it's only on the XPLR app. Go check it out. The final ritual and the single most dangerous ritual there is: making a deal with the devil. In other words, and you know it, selling your soul. There is so many stories about this. There's a ton of things. I could make a full video on just the stories and the talks about selling your soul, and you've heard that since day one. The Illuminati is a huge culprit of selling your soul to the devil, selling your soul to the corporations in order to get what you want. And that's what it is. It's basically saying, you know, in turn, I want a great 60 or 70 years of my life. I'm willing to give up my eternal life, my soul, to the devil, to Satan. So this is definitely the most insane, also the most rewarding you could possibly have in like, I guess, mortality, not after you die, because you know, you're gonna have an eternity in hell, but either way. But yeah, I'm gonna go into this. If you don't wanna hear about selling your soul to the devil, then click off now, because this is a rough one. I just wanna say, definitely don't want anyone to do this, because the eternal suffering in hell is not worth any amount of rich or fame or whatever you want to do. But again, this is literally just for the entertainment of it. So as the story goes, being struck at a crossroads where there is no other activity is always where you sell your soul to the devil. So that's where you have to find it first. A deal with the demon can only happen at a crossroads that are an active site for supernatural activity. So once you found that, you might be there to find the devil. Needless to say, you're gonna have to be alone for this one. We'll explain a little later with the rules, but just in general, the devil's not gonna want distractions. The hour must be twilight, around 3 o'clock a.m. I feel like there's a common time in all these 3 a.m. challenges. There's very, very detailed instructions, so I'm probably gonna leave out just a few in case you guys are trying it, because I don't want you to try it. But if I get too specific, you'll know why. So you're gonna have to approach from the south to the north. So when you hit these crossroads, you're gonna go and stand in the middle of the road. Once you're there, you're gonna meet with the devil obviously later, so it's dangerous. So you want to come prepared. You want to be carrying items with you, power objects like we talked about previously, things that will protect you. There are 3 things that you should carry for your protection. The first thing you're gonna need, and this is where it gets very specific, is you're gonna need a bone of a black cat, preferably the hind leg bone, and you're gonna be able to get that at a local cult shop. I don't know where these people are freaking living, but there is not actually it's Los Angeles. I bet there's a cult shop. However, cult shops might not let you buy this bone because they know that it's used for summoning the devil. Oh God. Okay, so it's a known thing. Nice. The second thing is you need a bunch of flowers, at least 3 individual flowers. And then the third thing you're gonna need is dirt, preferably dirt around a graveyard. It has to have a connection with the spirits. And then also another protective talisman that you can carry that you will not give away. So this is something that could be protective of you. And again, if you really want the details, there is a sort of voodoo powder that you guys can look up that is supposedly the best thing when you're working directly with the devil to protect you. So with these 3 talismans, you're gonna have the bone, you're gonna have the flowers, you're gonna have the dirt. Each one of those represents 1 minute of activity that you can like make your deal with the devil. You obviously do not want to lose any of these charms, because let's say you lost the charms during the middle of this deal, you only have like 1 minute or 2 minutes, as opposed to your full 3 minutes where you can ask for whatever you want. You're selling your soul, you're gonna get a pretty good reward for it. So once you stand at this supernatural crossroads, you're gonna close your eyes, take a deep breath. There's no Latin chant or anything. Obviously the devil knows why you're there, and especially because you brought these specific talismans. So the idea is you appear, you remain, you listen, you basically submit your offer, you give him your soul, and then you obey that and you can return to your life. So while you're there, obviously there's a bunch of small like nitpicky rules. I'm not gonna get into it, but obviously we're talking about nobody else there. You can't lie. There can't be like any physical harm towards the devil or anything. He's your guest. Like as long as you guys respect each other, they're gonna, it's gonna happen. But you can't, like, if you bring like a holy cross or anything that's gonna attack like a devil, it's gonna be considered disrespectful, and he's probably gonna freaking kill you. So don't do that. If you close your eyes, concentrate, obviously having all these said things, then you're gonna feel a presence, and if you do, then the devil might be there. And here's the weird thing. A lot of people, when they think of the devil, they're gonna think of this like red-horned, crazy hoofed demon or some like crazy, grisly, terrible like ghost figure. But no. I've heard this too, but this says it here. The devil generally tends to like take on the gender of like the opposite sex, or like a really like a nice like creature. Like if like you're really into muscular guys, like he's gonna be coming that. If you're like into like model looking girls, like he'll look like that, Basically he wants to appear as like a sweet, attractive person in your eyes, so that you just basically give up and you like agree to doing this. He's not gonna be scary. Once this happens, you have 3 minutes, all 3 of your talismans, to state your deal. So So his price will always be, you have to sell your soul, but you could wish for anything. You could wish for like being healthy the entire life. You could wish for riches. You could wish for fame. The only things you can't do are ungodly things, like you can't wish for eternal life because then he'll never get your soul. You can't wish for like the whole world to be obliterated because that's not like in, I guess, his power. But the one thing you need to do is you need to be very clear and state concisely what you want, because it is the devil, and I'm sure you've seen some movies about this, but the devil will twist your words and basically take what you want and flip it on you just to make your life hell on earth. So as long as you're very clear, you'll be okay. Once you've made the deal, he will nod and touch your shoulder. A theory is that he would be branding your soul as his own by touching you. But basically after he does that, there's no going back. Once the deal is done, it's done, ya gonzo. So make sure you want this before it happens. And again, after that, that's honestly it. Once you go back into your life, he will uphold his end of the bargain, but in turn, in the afterlife, you will have to uphold your end of the bargain. So I don't really think it's worth it, honestly, to anybody. But hey, if you think, you know, the 60 or 70 years of your life is worth eternal hatred and horribleness, then go for it. All right, so again, if this gets 200,000 likes, I'll consider doing a version of the Deal with the Devil, but if it gets 50,000 likes, you guys can comment down below which one you want me to do next. I think these videos are really interesting. If you also want me to do more videos about different rituals, let me know, because I think they're hilarious, just going through all these. And again, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do this, especially during spooky season, is go download the Explore app and get the 3 a.m. hoodie. Woo! It is my time, man. I gotta do spooky stuff. Either way, I will try to do other spooky videos. If you want, you can leave a suggestion down below for a different type of spooky video. I'm all down for it too. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it up, share it with a friend. Love you guys to the end of time. Thank you, and I'll see you next week with another video. Peace! Hey Google, turn all lights off.